Hello, happy Thursday. I hope wherever you are that you and your loved ones are safe and well, that you're having a good week and a good day. This has truly been one of the weirdest weeks of my life, and I have had a lot of weird weeks, trust me. If you follow my social media or any of my pain in the back accounts online, you know that I had a stroke on Christmas Eve. I still can't believe it happened. My doctors can't believe it happened. My family can't believe it happened. It's sort of one of those, seriously? If I thought I was going to be ending this year having had a stroke, I would have probably said, come on, give me something else because I can't believe that. But it happened. I woke up, I went to take my medicine that morning, and I felt like I was on a merry-go-round. I had like a serious case of the spins. And it didn't last very long, but it was scary. And then it subsided immediately. And then we went out. We were running a couple of last minute errands for like groceries and stuff. And my husband had taken all the food home, and we were just up the street at a little antique shop nearby. And I felt overheated in the store. I had a headache on the right side of my head, and I felt a little bit dizzy, a little bit sick to my stomach. And I said to my daughter, I'm just going to stand outside for a minute. And thank goodness I made it out in one piece, because when I started to walk, I kept crashing into everything on my left side. I was listing to the left. I couldn't walk properly, and apparently my face looked funny. I took my mask off outside, I guess. They saw my face, and it was droopy and weird, and I was slurring my speech and not making sense. I couldn't really see very well. And so they contacted my sister, who's an active RN, one of my older sisters, and she said, call an ambulance immediately. And I was arguing with them that I just needed to get home and take Tylenol and lie down. Thank goodness they did not listen to me, because when I got in the ambulance, I failed all the stroke protocols. And they called and had the neuro team on standby, because a stroke can kill you. You know, if you have an active bleed in your brain, you can have some serious problems there. And so they called, and the neuro team was standing by, and they think everything happened at 3:30, because that's when sort of everything came to a head. And I was, my husband came up the street to get me home, and they called the ambulance and the paramedics. So we're estimating that it happened at 3:30, and by 5 o'clock that night, I was having a TPA. That's the heavy hitting blood thinning treatment for a stroke. And so that happened at 5 o'clock. They administered that. And my husband said by 8:15 that night, I was finally moving my left side again. And because I guess they kept telling me, move your arm, move your leg. And I thought I was doing it, but apparently I wasn't. And they were asking me, how many fingers am I holding up? And I'll be honest, if one more person asked me that question, I was going to have them come close, and I was going to like knock them out with whatever limb was still working, because I thought I was doing a good job, but apparently I was not. And how many people are around the bed? How many people are leaning on your bed? The only person I could see for sure was my husband, because he had a black jacket on, and him I know. Them I did not. And so I was guesstimating, and they knew I was guesstimating, and I was wrong. And so they admitted me, but they wanted me, when you have a TPA treatment, you have to be monitored in the ICU, but there were no beds up there. And I was surprised at how many people were being admitted with strokes. And the man in the bed next to me in the ER was elderly and had a terrible fall. He broke his knee, and he had a lot of medical things happening for him. And obviously you hear all of that as you're sitting there. And so he got the first available bed, which thank goodness, because he desperately needed it. His situation was very bad. And so I was supposed to go upstairs next, but they never had a bed. So I stayed in the neuro overflow area of the ER, and COVID is still happening. And the protocols, no one could have come in to see me. We sent our daughter home. My husband was able to stay. He had to prove his vaccination status. And it was scary, because I didn't want to be there. My husband didn't want me to be there. Obviously, I had to be there. I didn't want him there. We definitely didn't want our daughter there. No other family could have come in. They were very strict about that. And so it was just very scary, because it was like, you're stuck in a situation that you would not be in under normal circumstances. And you want to just be in your own bed, in your own house, and in our own apartment. I just wanted to be home with my family. We didn't even have Christmas yet. I'm so tired. I just feel so tired. And my stroke was in the thalamus, which is the relay center of the brain, which is why my eyesight, my motor function, and my speech were affected. And they said the fact that I've improved so much is a good clue for my overall recuperation. And the TPA did its job, thank God. And they said the fatigue is normal based on the kind of stroke I had, and so I shouldn't be surprised that I'm so tired. But it's like I'm tired normally. This is like tiredness on steroids. It's just I'm so wiped out. Like even just sitting here, I just want to lean on the wall and sleep, or the closet door. And we went for a walk earlier, and I'm using my cane again just for security. And I don't like having it, but we kept it, and my husband suggested it. And at first I was like, no, but then I thought, I know I better, just to be on the safe side. And I'm obviously not going out without them. They're both working from home this week, thank goodness. And my daughter was so brave. She was so brave, and it was such a scary situation. And she was such a badass on Friday and not listening to me and not taking my word for it, because she knew something was wrong. She said, "You're not acting normal, Mom. You're not acting normal." And so when my sister said to call the ambulance, and I was like shouting at them, "Don't you dare." They did it, and she was just very brave, and I give her so much credit because it was such a scary situation, and she was amazing, and so I'm very proud of her. We're very proud of her always, but like, she has a way of becoming super calm in my hysteria. Like when I sliced my finger open and I needed stitches, I was like a lunatic, and she was so calm, like, we're going to the hospital. And on Friday, she was like, I called the ambulance. They are coming. You do not have, agency here. And later on, I said, I think I just wanted to control the situation. And she said, you wanted to have control in an out of control moment. And she was right. It was very scary. And I thought I had a say, and I really didn't. And I would say this, I'm a person that suffers from headaches. I saw my neurologist yesterday, and he said, I know what my headaches are like. So I have to try. I felt like I'm walking around with this time bomb in my head. And he said that's not the case, that I know what my headaches feel like. And if something feels different, or if I start to have symptoms like I had on Friday, to get to the ER immediately. Like, you can't play around with that. So if you or someone you love is having weird symptoms, or if somebody's acting out of the ordinary, if they're not speaking well, if they're drooping or anything like that, I would rather have you call and be wrong, get help and be wrong, than to be right about your suspicions and not have done anything. Because after a certain amount of time, they can't give the treatment, and these situations could be deadly. So you don't want that kind of scenario. Go to the hospital and be wrong. Hopefully be wrong. You know what I mean? Let them release you and say, no, everything's okay. I would rather that than to go through anything like what I went through and not have been able to get the treatment I needed. And so now they don't know if the patent foraminal valley was the conduit for the clot to get to my brain. We don't know that. So now I have to go through a bunch of cardiac tests and get all new imaging and maybe wear a Holter monitor. And they said it may be the time to repair the hole. We don't know yet. So once I see the cardiologist, I'll know better, and I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired, really. I know I said that already, but like legitimately, I am like wiped out. I don't know if you can tell that from the video, but maybe you can, because I feel like I'm not myself. But I'm just exhausted, and I'll be all right. I'm good. I'm alive. I'm here. I'm telling the tale. I'm ending 2021 with ludicrous drama. Nothing like being stuck in a hospital in the middle of a pandemic, and nothing like having a stroke in a pandemic. I mean, how dumb is that? Of course that happened. Nothing should shock me anymore, but that shocked me. And my doctors were stunned, and my neurologist was like, I got that message on Christmas Eve, and it was the Christmas Eve surprise I never wanted. He said, when I saw your name, and we don't know if what happened a few months ago, we'll never know if what happened a few months ago when I had that neuropathy and the pain in my head and everything was a precursor he said, we'll never know that because TIAs, if that's what it was, like a mini stroke, they don't leave evidence on scans. Like, you can't really see them. And so if that's what that was, we won't know that. And, but anyway, now I know what a stroke feels like, and it didn't feel great. It felt very out of control. And, so yeah, so that's how I'm ending 2021. Recuperating at home with my family and feeling exhausted and being grateful to be alive and grateful for the people around me and that people knew what to do and, you know, that I'm here to share the wisdom of don't wait, get help right away if something is out of the ordinary or if you have a headache that feels different. This headache felt different, but it was more the other things that were happening, the not being able to see and not being able to walk. That's what I thought was the problem. I wasn't thinking stroke. I was thinking something was wrong with my legs. I should have known better. I've seen people have strokes. I don't know. Anyway, so that's how we're ending this year. If I can include a picture of the stroke, of course I got pictures of the images because you know me, I'm a nerd like that. I like to have the visual, and also so that I can share that piece of the puzzle with you. It looks like a grape, a lit up grape in the middle, or a little strawberry in the middle of my brain, which is kind of terrifying. But it was a small stroke by some standards. Like my neurologist was like, comparatively, you know. But I'm here, I'm alive, being alive. I'm so grateful to be here and be able to tell you about how exhausted I am and what my stroke experience was like. But I have to say, like, the nurses and the doctors at the hospital I was in were absolutely kick-ass. They were amazing. They were not letting me bribe them into going home early. I couldn't convince them of releasing me before they were ready, unfortunately, but they were doing their job. And we do not thank hospital staff. Everybody from security to the custodial staff, they have like the worst job because COVID, man, trying to keep everything clean and sterilized and ready for the next patient. The nurses, the doctors, the radiology technicians, but security guards, the food service people, the custodians, people don't thank them. And we should be thanking all of these amazing, extraordinary human beings who've been frontline workers along with the doctors and nurses the entire time. And so be grateful. Thank people, you know, really. Thank everybody. Thank delivery people, postal workers, UPS, whoever you see, just say thank you and wish them a good holiday. They're probably going to be shocked because people just tend to ignore them. You know, we all get mail and nobody thinks about who delivers it. We get packages and nobody thinks about it. Whenever I thank one of these workers, they're sort of like, what? Oh, you're welcome. Like, what? And it's like, this is sad. So when I was at the hospital, I was trying to thank everybody because I thought, geez, you know, I have relatives who've been frontline hospital workers this whole time, and I hope people are thanking them because it's a thankless, hard job, and we're in a pandemic, and it's scary for everybody, and it's scary for them because they have to show up every day no matter what. And it's like, I hope people appreciate the amazing, extraordinary, invisible people around them who are doing all this hard work and keeping us safe and healthy and fed and the area's clean. And, you know, I was in a good space. You know, I was in the ER, which is, you know, you don't think of it as being the safest, not scary place. It was terrifying. But they were amazing, and people took care of me and made sure I had what I needed. And I was so grateful to them, and I am still grateful to them, and I will be forever grateful to them. And I'm alive and I'm here, and what more could I want? So yes, I did have a stroke, but I'm all right. And as I know more information, I will definitely share it with all of you. This is not how I wanted to end 2021, but you know what? I'm here and I'm okay, and that's all that matters. And so yeah, I'm amazed that I got the blog up last Friday. I was so panicked about missing a week, but I did it somehow. If it made sense, I hope. I don't know. We'll see. This week's blog, it's probably going to be mostly speech to text because typing is hard for me, which they said was normal and it should get better. But he said my typing won't get better. I'll just become better than I am right now. But anyway, whatever. I hope wherever you are that you are having a low pain, no pain, low aggravation, no aggravation kind of a day, kind of a week, kind of a weekend, kind of end of the year, last video of the year. The blog will be the last blog of the year. I can't believe that. And I hope that you are all safe and well. and that you ended this year better than I am ending it. But I'm home, I'm alive, I'm recuperating, and I think that makes me pretty damn lucky. So lots of love to all of you. Be safe, be well. I will see you tomorrow via the blog, next week for another video. Take care. Bye.